Welcome to Everything Rodeo, where we separate champions from the rest of the crowd.
We'll take you down the trail of someone's life, a long-haul tour rodeo, and our everyday adventures.
So brace yourself.
Because it's fixing to be a wild ride.
We're your hosts,
Mace Renfrey
and Cody Stanley. Well, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome once again to the crawl space for episode 16 of the Everything Rodeo podcast.
We would like to welcome our guests, Bethany Iles and Ryder Kiesner.
Thank you. I'll be here all day.
So, should it be, it's soon to be Bethany
Ryder
Kiesner.
That's how it's going to be. I cracked the whip in the show, but she whoosh.
Wait, so are you going to take his last name?
Yes.
Okay, so it'll be the double whammy Kiesners.
It's actually on the truck now.
Kiesner times two.
The truck, it got called today. We could have picked it up today. It says Ryder and Bethany Kiesner on it.
Wow.
Yep.
Sweet.
I just can't imagine the hassle you have to go through to get your ID changed.
It's a
and
pain in
change
the
your
butt.
Facebook and your Instagram and all that.
It does seem like a hassle now. Maybe I'll change my mind.
It might be worth it.
I'm sorry, Ryder. I'm sorry.
So my question is, are we invited to the wedding?
Yes.
Of course.
Is that just because we put you on the spot?
Yes.
We was not invited, and I knew that if we asked during the show, we'd be invited.
I even commented, I think, during the proposal, I was like, we better get an invitation. You're like, yep.
Yep.
Okay,
We've been engaged since November, and we haven't gotten the engagement picture, so I can't send invites out. So I'm
Oh.
just getting those taken this weekend.
Oh, you're getting engagement pictures taken this
Yeah,
weekend.
so then
Oh,
I
wow.
can send invites out.
We got our rodeo schedule figured out before we know who's invited to the wedding.
Yeah.
I guess that's priorities. Priorities. So
Got to make a living before you can, pay for a wedding.
Actually, we did get a date, and then like a week after we put down a deposit, I got a rodeo that called me on that day, and it's like
man.
a Wednesday. Like she's like,
Yeah.
most likely we won't get ready. I got a Wednesday rodeo that called me. I'm like, I asked her like, can we get out of it? And,
He's
like,
on the phone
change
with the
it?
guy, and he's like, here, one second, let me ask her. Can we change the date of the He's like, she said we can't.
Oh my
Try.
gosh.
So I turned down a rodeo to get married.
Were you ticked about that?
No, I put down a hefty deposit on the venue, so he would have to spend a lot of money or change the date of the
Yeah,
wedding.
cancellation fees
Yeah.
these days, man.
It's happening.
Man, dang it. Cool. Well, thanks for joining us today.
Yeah,
This
thanks
is,
for having us.
man, we have so much history together, all of us.
In the last,
Been a
2
while.
years.
Yeah. It's been a lot.
Yeah. So the first year I started filming rodeos, you were at Rodeo Ozarks and you did that act where they shut all the lights off and you did I'll have to try to find the video because it's somewhere buried in a hard drive somewhere.
Yeah, I think I actually might have footage of it. That was pretty cool. They shut all the lights off because they had a drill team
Yep.
that had LED lights on their horses and stuff. And
Yep.
so the lights took a while to reboot. And so they had us come out there and we did the trick eye at the end. Usually it goes back and forth, but she was at the very end. And man, I had to do stuff at the light up rope. And then I had my dad in the truck, and then he had to like plug in to the generator to get the lights on. And we did like the whole show in the dark
Yeah.
with the lights on my truck. And then about the time the lights came on, I quit trick roping, and then she did the rest.
Perfect.
I just killed time until the lights came on for like
Yeah.
10 minutes.
Yeah. And then after I didn't officially meet you then, but then I worked for an air gun company, and then we came out with a Schofield pistol, and I was like, let's put a cowboy in the Cowboy series. So I was like, I'm going to reach out to Ryder Kiesner because he's like a 10-time world champion pistol spinner. So I reached out, and Jared and I went down, and we actually had Cody come with us to help shoot as a third shooter. So came down to your house, and you're all on your unicycle, and you're freaking juggling you're throwing darts and sticking them between each other like this close. And then we
Straight up
went
there.
downtown, did some trick roping on the corner,
Yep.
shot a little documentary, and then did some cool stuff with you, trick riding and stuff. So, yeah. Yes.
Highlight of that day still to me is her shooting us in the back.
Yes.
There's some gun.
Yes.
I can still feel
Dude.
that. That hurt.
So basically, Ryder had this bright idea.
You got to hit 6 times in a row
Yeah.
or she shoots you.
Please shoot us in the butt.
Yeah.
Okay, whenever, because Cody and I, like, when we get to laughing, it's, like, hard to stop. But when that happened in the video, you can hear Cody dying. I didn't miss. I want the jury to see I didn't miss that one. Yes, he did.
Dude,
Oh
when I
my
laugh
gosh.
like that, I sound like I'm crying.
I was.
Yeah, Ryder was.
Really hurt.
He had like this big old bruise on his back.
Well,
I got a picture of the where she shot him, and it's
In
like
my defense, I said, I'm like, I don't want to shoot you guys. And you're like, no, we want you to shoot us. And then I did.
Yeah, but then when she did, she was like, she shot me in the back of the head twice. Shot Ryder like.
yeah, yeah. She might be married to a gun spinner, but she's not a very good shot.
Yeah, she's the gun slinger.
Yeah.
In
Yeah.
all defense, I'm not a good gun shot either. Like, I can spin it. I can't shoot
it.
That's funny. But yeah, and then after that, we just kind of stayed in touch, and then we went to SHOT Show, and you came and spun some pistols at the SHOT Show and did some trick roping and stuff. So
Fun.
yeah, but while we were out there, we got to kind of hear some of your stories, so we kind of know what you've gone through. But kind of tell us how it all started and how you like got to where you're at today.
Well, how I got started, I have 5th generation horse trainer in my family. My dad rodeoed, my grandpa rodeoed, my brother rodeoed. They trained a lot of reining horses, working cow horses. My grandpa was actually the first president of the Arab Horse Association. He did like English riding, driving. Then my dad went into the more reining cowboy stuff. We grew up rodeoing and roping. And when I was 9 years old, I got a Will Rogers trick roping kit for Christmas. I really liked it, but before that, I would juggle and do magic shows, and I went to Little Britches Finals rodeo and roping, but I liked performing, so I started trick roping, and the gun spin, whip cracking, that all kind of went with it. And my brother and I, we trick rode and Roman rode for a long time before that, and we were nowhere near as good as her, but we would fool around, and we started doing a family act, and we did that until I turned 18. Got my pro card, and I started doing pro rodeos, and got my clown card shortly after that, and just to help, I got lucky, and 2012 I got to do the NFR, and it was still, I was doing good, but it still needed to get more rodeos. Clowning helps, so I started clowning a little after that, and then a little while later, she got her pro card with her sister, and then we started doing it together.
So did you meet at a rodeo then?
We met on Tinder.
No.
Right.
Oh, we're in the same town. What a convenience.
No, actually, that's one of her favorite stories, so I'll let her say that one.
Yeah.
Well, it's not funny.
It's a good
Well, it
story.
was kind of cute. So I was in Cody, Wyoming, trick riding with my sisters because we used to have a family act, much like riders. We all trick rode in Roman Road, and he was out there team roping. So we met, but there's 7-year age difference. So I'm 13, and he's 20, so we weren't looking at each other. But his family was really nice to us. They had done an act, so they'd give us some tips and we talk. And then he would go and help my trick riding coach's kids trick rope. And so my trick riding coach, Newman, she's super pushy, and she thought we'd make such a cute couple. So at the time, I had just gotten, he said, I got my PRCA card, and I'd started trick riding with my sisters, and we were going to go do the PRCA thing and hopefully make a living that way. And she got in 2 really bad accidents that year, and she broke her back, and she kept trick riding, and she broke her neck. So she stopped trick riding. And here I am with my pro card, oh, man, I was really hoping to start going, and do this act. So my coach calls him, and she says, hey, Bethany really wants to go on the road with you. You need to call her and take her on the road with you. Well, she calls me and says, hey, Ryder really wants to take a trick rider on the road. You need to give him a call. So somehow one of us called, and we were super confused, you want me? No, I want you. Somehow we ended up getting on the road together, and I just never left.
Yeah, we spent about 2 months on the road.
Yep, because I was still in college.
Yeah.
So I went on the road when I got out of college, and during that summer I was on the road.
June and July, and then after that, probably about a month or 2 after that summer, it was about August, we started dating. And then that next year, she was still in college, but picked her up in the summer, and then you've been on the road with me ever since then.
Yep,
Wow.
So did you graduate college?
I did.
Good job.
My associates in arts. Nothing fancy, but
She's smart.
Yeah.
So you're a pretty good painter.
yes. That's what that means.
Any schooling for you, Ryder?
Homeschooled. I'm so smart.
Yeah.
No, we we both did that, but growing up, going to rodeos and stuff, I went to public school in kindergarten, and actually there was 26 kids in the whole school.
Wow.
2 teachers in Laramie, Wyoming, nobody, and you always said yes sir, no ma'am. And then we moved over the summer, and so I went to first day of first grade down in Fort Worth, Texas. There was 30 kids in the class. It was so big. And there was kids walking around saying F you to the teacher. And
Wow.
6-year-olds, they were bad. And my mom, she heard about that. And I went to first grade one day. And second day, my mom pulled me out. And teacher, I remember she said he's not going to learn everything that, you can't teach him everything that he needs to know. I said, true, but he's not going to learn everything you guys have to teach him. And,
Right.
And I mean, there's probably things I'm not the smartest on, but I know that I couldn't do what I do now if it wasn't for that. And, it's something that opened up a lot of freedom where we were able to travel and go to a lot of rodeos. And I learned how to be a performer from a young age. With my parents, we got to travel to, China and Japan and Oman, Dubai. I got to see the world. I got to learn how to run a business. It's really hard you live in a truck and trailer and you travel year round. Last year we only had 3 weekends off from first week in January to New Year's. I literally worked New Year's. I had the weekend
before Christmas.
Yeah, we had Christmas and like 2 other weekends off all year. And just staying on the road that long, it's a college education just knowing that. And so I'm really grateful for my parents, where I feel like I had an advantage. When I turned 18, I kind of knew how to do it a little bit.
Right. Yeah, it seems like kids nowadays, if they're homeschooled, they go to school till 10 o'clock and they have the rest of the day. Like the neighbor kid the other day came over and he brought his bow over. He's like, hey, can I shoot your deer down there? I'm like, heck yeah. And it was like 10 in the morning. I'm like, are you not done with school? He's like, oh yeah, I already got my stuff done. But I mean, what I was going to say is it's kind of like what you said too, is you have all that free time to like really become very experienced in your craft. Like, all the time that you had on your hands to like learn how to yo-yo and ride the unicycle and your trick roping and so no, yeah, that's pretty cool. I think a lot of the rodeo guys, they all kind of were homeschooled, and at least from what I know.
And our parents did it. I feel like they did a good job. We had to study, and we did a lot of road trips, and we did a lot of studying there, but we had to get our chores done, and that was part of the school. Like you had to do school and then you could go out and play. But man, it did open it up where, man, you didn't worry about school. You didn't, and I kind of always wish I could have done sports, but my sport was rodeo and trick roping and performing, and I really wanted to trade it. I got really blessed to grow up in this industry.
Yeah. So, what would you say some of your greatest achievements have been as a performer? Oh, there she is.
Well, our biggest one I would dang sure have to say is Dress Act of the Year. We won that together in 2020.
That's awesome.
That was the biggest one. I've performed at the NFR 7 times. We're performing at the NFR Open this year. This will be my second time and her first time. Last year we got to perform at the Steer Roping National Finals out in Kansas, and that was awesome. Actually, that's where I proposed to her at.
Wow.
Yeah, we was in Vegas when you got the call. We was sitting at your booth when you got the call about the NFR Open.
Oh yeah, that was awesome. That was a cool experience in that rodeo.
Yeah,
we're both pretty excited about that one.
Yeah. Do you get nervous before you go out to perform?
You can't. Like we talk a lot about, you get in your head about those kind of big shows, but at least me, like being on horses, like you will make them nervous.
Right.
So I know before like the national final Steer Open, like walking up to get my horse, I'd be like, oh my gosh. And then you have to get on and be like, nope, this is like every other show I've done, because you can't freak them out,
Yeah.
Clowning's another story, though. I will freak out about clowning. the act, and that's a lot of it, is like, especially like trick roping. If you're nervous, man, you'll mess up a ton. Trick riding, you get the horses nervous. Clowning, though, man, I'm not naturally funny. Like it was hard for me to learn, and clowning is really hard. I got a lot of respect for like John Harrison, Justin Rumford, JJ, all those. I mean, it's hard, and it's something like I've had to work at. I think that's the only reason why I got mildly good at, or the level I'm at now, is because I've worked at it, I've studied it. But man, it's nerve-wracking. You walk out there with the microphone, you got 2 hours to be funny, and man, it's a lot of improv, it's a lot of crowd interaction, and I used to get nervous. I used to call my dad up before every performance. I'd be like, Dad, I don't know why they hired me. I'm not funny. Like, this is gonna go so bad. Why did they do this to me? And man, I would suck it up, go in the gate, and the first couple of years, and even now, there's still some rough perfs, but it's something that I've enjoyed. It's been hard to work at, but it's been fun. But yeah, I did used to get really nervous about those. Not as much anymore, but
yeah.
So talking about clowning, you have won the Coors Man in the Can
Not yet. That's on the bucket list.
Okay, I thought you had.
I've been nominated for
Yeah, it was nominated,
the last 3 years.
Okay.
And I finished fourth. They actually tell you where. And that Coors, man, that's a really cool deal that Donna Keffler she puts on. But yeah, I mean, you basically put the sticker on it and you get voted on. It's different than the Clown of the Year, but or working the NFR, but. You know, it's a big honor to get nominated. It's something. Yeah, I remember the first time she called me. I thought she was calling us to congratulate us about. She's like, "Congratulations on being nominated." I'm working at Prairie Circuit Finals, and like I had a clown. Like in about 3 hours, I'm clowning a circuit finals. I'm like going through my jokes. I'm like thinking about circuit finals, and she called me up, congratulating. Oh, thank you, Dad. And she's all right. So you're gonna sit at our table. I'm like, okay, cool. And towards the end, I was like, wait, what are you congratulating me on? Because she kept on saying things about Coors, and I'm like, well, you made top 5. And I freaked. I told her I loved her. Like, I was jumping up and down. I was so excited. And she's sitting there on the couch like, what is he doing? I like got nominated top 5. And that it was such a big, I mean, it is a big deal. It was cool. But yeah, John Harrison's won it, and Keith Isley won it the years I've been nominated. But John, I think he's won it last 2 years. Yeah. And I mean, John Harrison, he's going down as a GOAT. Him and Flint, they're both big names.
Yeah,
because we was at your place when you got the call.
I was gonna say, wasn't that for
being nominated? I think we need to just hang
you
out
better make
more.
sure your phone's on you.
right now. Who's calling?
Yeah, because I remember that.
Yeah.
He was like,
That's what
I
I
just
was
got
thinking.
nominated.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because he was sure it was a fluke. He was like, I'm not going to get nominated this year. That was just an accident last year.
Yeah.
And then he did. And I'm like, see, you're good.
Yeah, I was going to say that because I was like, when we were at your house, I'm pretty sure that's when you got nominated. But yeah, that's funny too. When we were at the NFR, you
And
got
then you
the
get the
call
call.
about the Open.
I
So
need to grab my phone. But yeah, those are the big things to me, and it's been really cool getting to share a lot of these things with her. You know, some of those things I've gotten to do, and for years, and it's been a lot more in these last couple of years, but a lot of it's been based on her and us doing a good job. And even the clowning, I couldn't do it without her.
Right.
It helps me out a lot more when she can help have the props ready, and you know, she's funnier than I am, so she gives me a lot of jokes.
yeah, get a lot of the jokes from Bethany.
And try to steal a little of her sass and then go out there. It's pretty funny.
That is funny. You should do an act where you are Bethany. You go out there.
No. He pretends to be me all the time. Like he thinks he's funny and he'll impersonate me, and it's not funny.
Spot on.
It's really not funny.
Let's hear it.
Oh man, don't put me on the spot like that. Like, come on.
We're just practicing for when you got a clown.
I know. I'm trying to think of something, but she might get mad at me. You know?
It's all right.
I don't
We'll
want to do a
protect you.
dumb joke and
You got
sleep
a
on
long
the couch tonight.
You got a long ride home. You guys can talk about it.
Get it all worked out before you get home.
I did one yesterday about your Starbucks order that, or your where we like to go now, Dutch Bros.
Yeah.
And it's like it's like that picture. I'll point at a picture. That's what I want. That's done. Her, it's like she'll literally have to pull out a text and read it off, and you get all that. Like it's like 5 spoons, this, a shaken, this, 3 ice cubes on, this. I'm like, it's hard. And I drink this.
Oh, so for those of you who don't know Ryder and Bethany,
A lot of them.
so tell them exactly what you do, like, and how many times you've been nominated or whatever.
Yeah. So I'm a trick writer, and I guess I've been nominated as dress act 4 times. Won it once. Yeah, so trick riding is basically like gymnastics on horseback, and we do an act together, and we try to make it like 2023 Rory Rogers and Dale Evans, like kind of fun, kind of like, it's like a couple's act, and then like we try to do it really fast paced. He cracks whips around me, cracks flowers out of my mouth. Sometimes I crack a flower out of his mouth now.
We'll do that and actually last year we started doing this where I crack a whip and I out of her mouth a flower, and then now she'll like no, she'll give me the flower and take the whip.
Yeah.
And she'll.
I
do it.
seen the
Oh, you
video
better
the other
hope-
day on
I
Facebook.
was gonna say, you better hope that you're not.
Oh, she's
The funny
whacked me
part is
several
I'm not
times.
good at it. Like the first time we did it was to mess with Randy Corley, the rodeo announcer. I was like, wouldn't it be funny tonight if I take the whip and crack the flower out of your mouth? So we did, and I hadn't practiced, and I smacked him in the face.
So did you react like when
No,
she
you
hits you?
can't.
You're just
You're
like,
You can't because he smacked me before, and I don't react because then
Yeah.
the crowd obviously doesn't think it's super cool when
Right.
he hits me with the whip. So he couldn't react.
Your nose is just hanging there.
Yeah.
you're just like,
Oh,
It does
just
hurt.
internal pain.
yeah.
And I've seen, like, whenever we went out there to your place, we got to see you trick ride. We made a cool video of you hanging off and flipping off the front. And I was like running next to you with the gimbal trying to get some cool shots. It turned out really
the video
cool.
was
But,
awesome.
but it's just, I mean, it's amazing. You know, you make it look so easy, but I can't imagine for a second even thinking about just like running full blast, hitting a corner, and just lifting my legs in the air. You know, so
It feels pretty normal to me. I do better hanging off the side of them than I do sitting in the saddle.
there you go. Got to find
Ryder, when are you going to
fires.
start trick riding?
Me, I've passed my prime on that. There's an expiration date on that. I passed it. No, she can keep that. And like she's starting to work on like Liberty and Roman. She actually did a Liberty act this last weekend. Went really good. And Roman riding. Me and I've done it. It's nowhere near that level. We're good on that. But I'll say I do the trick roping, whip cracking, gun spinning. I'll do like fire whips, fire ropes, kind of anything that somebody will pay for.
What's Liberty? I don't know what that is.
Oh, so it's Liberty is when your horse runs. He's got no reins, no bridle, and he stays with you in the arena. And he'll like do circles around you. He'll follow behind you. I did mine where he followed me out. He did the circles around me. He'll stand still and let me go up underneath of his legs. He'll do a rear up, a lay down. It's just really.
Isn't that Ryder's horse that you're using in that?
No, it's one of my trick riding courses, which
Okay.
is really hard because normally his job, he was so confused. Normally his job is to run as fast as he can while I hang off of him. And I took him in the arena this weekend and he was like following me at a trial, like, Mom, what are we doing? And to like lay down, like his horse would probably work better because they've got to stay so calm. Like it's against their instinct to like lay down. So I was really proud of him that he went out there and tried my new act with me. I could tell he thought I was stupid. Like, why am I trotting these little circles around you?
That's funny.
Yeah.
So
So Ryder, what all do you do? What does your job entail?
My job is basically kill time until she's ready again. But, you know, a lot of the trick roping, like I've been blessed. I've been able to win like 4 world championships in the trick roping and 2 world championships in the gun spinning, which is basically like dancing with the rope. A lot of it I try to do on horseback and then like 2 ropes and just having fun with that. But then kind of what Will Rogers used to do, the gun spinning, kind of what you see in Doc Holliday, Roy Rogers. Started off with like cap guns when I was a kid. I used to break like 1 a week of those, like with the orange cap on the end. And I always want to be like Doc Holliday. And then whip cracking and stuff. We actually had knife throwing in the act for a little while there. But I stabbed
last
her
long.
with a knife.
He stabbed me with a knife in a live show.
We don't do that anymore.
where at? Like a vital shot or?
No,
chest.
he hit me in the chest. I was wearing a white peasant top and like bleeding, and I had to go trick ride after this.
So she's holding a target, right?
I'm gonna try to make it sound better, but remember, it's a knife, and I was bleeding.
Dun, dun, dun,
It
dun.
doesn't get better, but she's holding the target, and there was a knot in the wood. Okay, I hit the knot in the wood, and it bounced off, and the direction it went was like doing, and it went
It
and
cut
like
me.
cut her straight across there, and she was wearing a white top, and it just, I mean, it looked really bad.
Blood.
Just blood streaming down.
That's it. She's just smiling, and we're like, and then she's like. I'm like,
And he
okay,
threw
so I
more.
stay throwing knives. We finish it up. She goes, she trick rides. We come out of the arena, and by then she's like kind of forgot about it. She had trick
I went
ride.
trick road.
Yeah.
I come out like, oh my gosh, babe, I'm so sorry. Are you okay? She's like, what
What are you
You're
sorry for?
bleeding." We don't do that anymore.
That's the only thing I've ever done. Like I do, front flips off of horses. I hang upside down. Everything I've done, my mom's supportive of. And I'm like, we're gonna do knife throwing. He's gonna throw knives around me. And she said, no, you're not. You cannot.
And then after you got stabbed, and she was like, "Yeah, you're
like,
definitely not doing it."
Why I said no.
So Bethany's got the short end of the stick on some of the acts. What about you, Ryder? Have you had any instances?
Me, I've had a lot. I used to be good looking. I've been whipped in the face so many times.
Oh, that's what happened.
Yeah, no, it's not a lot. Oh, have you guys seen the videos last year? Like,
When you
He had
caught
a
on
rough-
fire.
He had a rough July.
yeah, it was then Hambone Summit. He had the video of me. I like got hit in the barrel, but like I didn't get down all the way, and so like I go over, and then like I get rolled with my head like out of the barrel, and the barrel gets rolled over. I'll show it to you guys. They got like it was bad, and then also Clay, the photographer, he got a video of me. Like I stood up, I tipped my hat, and then I went to do a trick, like shake it,
Oh, your
and
horse moved, right?
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And so I'm doing the handshake around my waist, and then boing, it hits that horse in the head, and he's facing that way, and I'm facing that way.
Face planted, caught himself with his face on the ground.
I mean, just like stand all the way up to all the way down,
man.
and like I mean, everywhere. It was
red.
bad.
Dang.
And then I mean, yeah, like you're talking about catching on fire. I've caught on fire doing the fire whips and ropes probably about 20 times now. Like
During shows.
Like bad. Like I've had it where Cheyenne's probably one of the biggest because I think that's the only reason why they hired me like 8 times is because like one of the first years I like go up, I just took him out of the bucket. I come up, I go to crack, and they tied up behind me, and they wrapped around me, and I couldn't get it off of me. So the flames are coming up, so finally I take it off. Well, then my shirt's on fire, like all the fringes getting burnt, and I had hair, and not as long as yours, but like it got burnt up all the way. Like I had no eyebrows, it was burnt up my nose.
Man.
So I'm freaking out of that. I ripped my shirt, I had all pearl snaps, so I ripped my shirt off. I go run off, and it's very feminine. We're like, ah! I go off, and I finally get done. Well, I dropped the whips, and so I ran back out there, and I'm like, I don't tan. I'm albino white. So I run back there, and I got white pants, and I'm white. I pick up the whips, and I finish the show without a shirt on.
It looked like you had a white T-shirt on.
They were,
Tell.
yeah. Then like I did it in between contestants. Like there at Cheyenne, it would be like one guy would go, and as they're chasing out, it's so big. I would do 30 seconds, and then the next guy would ride in, he goes, I'd stop. Anyway, so then I'm like, the whole rodeo stopped. I mean, the announcers are dying laughing. I'm out there without a shirt on, cracking whips like nothing happened. Everybody's like, I did it. Oh, the whole crowd. I mean, 20,000 people, whatever it is at Cheyenne. And like, I'm freaking out. And then I finally got it done. But man, they hired me, and for years, every perp, like they would play it like 5 times a day, just like with that Fireball song. And like,
I was singing, "This girl is on fire."
Not that one, thank God. But that could have been worse. I'm glad against that one, but it was they play that every day. Crowd would always laugh about it.
Yep. Yeah. The only thing we really got to experience, we got to blow a little fire.
Yeah.
You showed us how it's done.
Yep.
We know the trade secret, and we ain't telling nobody.
Yep.
I did that when I'm climbing. Actually, there's a funny story there too. So, well, it was actually her wanting to learn how to do it. She wanted to do
Stole it from me.
Yep.
I was gonna do it on horseback.
Yeah, we were at a rodeo, and she's like, I want to do that, and like, I'm trick riding. And so we got it, and we went out, practiced. We learned
a little bit to drink.
Yep.
YouTubed how to do it. And we started
YouTubed
breathing fire.
You can learn anything on YouTube. But we did it. She's a little long girl throwing it. And I don't try it at home. It's dumb, but
It's dumb.
she did it fine. And like I knew basic fire. Like I do the fire whips. I know how to juggle fire and stuff, but like don't breathe fire. And but so I did clowning. And well, I did it. And like I breathed the big fireball, and I started choking on the chemical I put in my mouth. Like it dries your mouth out. You can't breathe. Mm-hmm. And so I'm out there. I'm like almost dying, and like everybody starts laughing because like the rodeo clown, like he can't breathe, he breathes fire. Well, then finally, and my water, it like I have it to rinse my mouth out. Well, it tipped over, so I didn't have anything. It was like in like where was
Pullman,
it?
Texas.
Pullman, Texas. I'm like, it's hot out. It's in June. I'm like dying of heat, and so finally the paramedics bring me a water bottle. Like it was so bad. But now I do it as kind of part of the skit.
Now he coughs on purpose. People think it's funny.
I don't, but it's funny.
So everybody thinks it's funny when you're coughing, and you're about to die out in the arena. Mm-hmm. So a paramedic brings you a water. Like, is this during the show? Like out in the arena?
No, he
brings you one.
Yeah. Well, I had a bad night that day too. So most of the time we try not to steal jokes, and like it was TC Long and. It was a Hunter Cure, right? Well, no, so like honestly, a Hunter Cure, he's out there, and the whole time, with the TC Long, he kind of sets it up where, Justin Rumford, he does a joke where like if this next guy steer wrestler, he does it, I'm gonna tackle him, and like I'm not big enough to pull that joke off, so I don't do that joke. Well, TC, he starts laying in like, all right, the next guy, if he goes, he said, you gotta tackle him right, or like NFL football player. I'm like. No, like, no, that's dumb.
I'm a kicker. I'm a kicker size.
He knew who it was. It was Hunter Kier, and he had a good steer. He set me up bad on this one. So like sucking him out there, and it's like, all right, fine. And, like He goes out there. He does like a 3.9 or something. He wins the rodeo.
So you just put your head down, take off running, right?
Like Hunter, he knew it was happening because he gets up and he like looks at me like, wait. I'm like, okay, here we go, guys. I get my head down, go run as hard as I can. I'm like, what I'm gonna do is he gets down low. He's like, yeah, and I go, I'm gonna jump his shoulder. Like I'm just.
Yeah.
I go to jump, and he read it like a book, and he grabbed me right below the knees. He stands up, and like I am way up there. And he just lets go, and like I do a front flip, land flat on my back, and like I got my mic on. The wind goes out of me. I'm like, I couldn't breathe. And like just squeaks over the microphone. And this is Coleman, Texas. Like this is cowboy country. You get a little blue guy out there and I'm just squeaking. I'm like, Hunter's up there laughing at me. I'm like, dumb joke. And then later that night, I breathe fire and I end up like suffocating out there. It
was a rough day.
It was a bad day.
Yeah. It's
Dang.
not easy being a rodeo clown. That's the gist of it.
So if anybody wants to come see some of his struggles,
I know.
let them know what your schedule is.
I feel like so many rodeo clowns go out there and they can do it and they don't get hurt. They lean up on a broomstick. I always get hurt. Like
Yeah,
it's
it's part of the job, man.
if you're not funny, you got to get hurt.
Got to get hired somehow.
I know. Ta-da.
So where's your next rodeo you're going to?
We're heading out to California. We got to run out there. Just a little one. We're going to George Veters. He's got a private bronc riding deal. And then we actually got to do like 4 different acts there. I'll do whip crack and gunspin act, and then trick roping act, and she'll do a trick riding act and a liberty act. So
That's awesome.
be a lot
Nice.
of fun. And then,
Mule days.
yep,
Bishop-
mule days.
Oh, the Bishop
California.
Mule Days?
Yeah, looking forward to that one.
That'd be cool.
Bob Tallman's gonna be there.
Yeah,
Be a fun one.
that'll be fun.
Yeah.
Who's your favorite announcer to work with?
Man,
Can we say that over the air?
I mean, I don't know if I got a flat out favorite. Man, there's some that I love working with as a rodeo clown. Some guys I just really click with. Some guys, it's a little harder. Different jokes, different punchlines. Some guys, it's also working with them longer. Some guys that, you get a good repertoire with them. Different guys who act really good.
Yeah.
That's another deal. It's like there's guys who do specialty acts really, really good. We've been really blessed. Most of the guys we get to work with they're been doing it for a while, and so we get to work with like Bob Tallman, Randy Corley, Roger Mooney, Wayne Brooks, Andy Stewart, TC Long. I mean, there's a few we get to work with these guys, and there's really not any bad ones when you get some of those names.
Yeah.
It was pretty cool last year at circuit finals. We got to work with Bob Tallman and
Wayne Brooks.
And they co-announced it. I got to clown that one with them.
Oh, nice.
And Jill Franzen was running music.
Yeah.
That was a lot of fun. They'll make you look good.
Yeah, for people that might be listening that don't understand rodeo. So when a rodeo's set up or whatever, the rodeo hires an announcer, they hire a music director, and then they hire the specialty act, whether that be the clown or sometimes they have a clown and a specialty act. And you guys might not work together every weekend. It's not like the same group works together every weekend. It switches in and out.
Yeah.
So when you work with different announcers and stuff, you got to be able to kind of mesh together.
Yeah, no, definitely. And and that's where a lot of times it's not, we all kind of know the same plan. It's like how to set a guy up for success, where we all kind of do the same style.
Yeah.
And then that's what's kind of hard about it, and that's where trying to find your own style with not reinventing the whole wheel, because you might be really good with one guy, but he knows how to lead you down that path, and you got to be able to work with every announcer. I think that's been something that was hard as a clown. You might get your jokes, and if you're at home, that was something that was hard for me. Is I would be doing really good on jokes, or I'd come up with something and be like, "That's really funny," but does it fit rodeo? Does it fit certain jokes go over good in certain events?
Yeah.
And especially when you're going improv, 90% of it is improv. When you're just that's a funny thing over there. Let's go see what's going on over there. And knowing how most rodeo announcers are going to lead you on that path.
Yeah.
And and even making, some good guys, good announcers can make an average clown look really good, and vice versa. And then, but when you get like Roger Mooney and John Harrison, man, that's when you get gold.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So how much longer do you see yourself working together? Not married.
For a while, I hope.
Stay together for a while.
Not married, but I'm talking like doing your act together.
Man, I mean, I don't know. Yeah.
Trick or treating's hard. It's hard on the body. You don't see a lot of, older people doing it. So I guess I'm going to go as long as I can. And I'm pretty rough on my body. I like to try a lot of the hard tricks, and my body hurts pretty much every time I trick ride.
At that point where you think you'll be done, retired from trick riding, you think you'll try to pick something up if rider's still going? Or
well, I think that's, I've been working on the Roman riding and the Liberty now. Those aren't things I'm great at yet. Like he said, I did my Liberty act this weekend. It was okay. It's been something I've self-taught. It's a trick riding horse. It was what it was, but I'm hoping to be able to learn the Roman riding and the trick riding, so when that stops, I can keep going with him.
Yeah. So with trick riding, I can only imagine how much, like, you got to be exhausted after the day's over, right? Or no?
No, well, you can't do it that much because it's hard on me, but it's even harder on the horse.
Okay.
So a lot of what I do is, like, I work out 6 days a week.
I was going to say.
In shape.
Yeah.
Try to keep the horses in shape. And then especially I've got older, I've got 2 horses that have been going for a long time. So it's maybe 4 or 5 passes,
right,
3 times a week on them, because you're always pulling off to the same side, and you'll put the back out. You can really make them sore.
Right.
So it's trying to practice, but you got to practice smart.
Yeah. That's what I was curious. Do you mostly do core workouts and stuff?
I do a lot of Pilates. So I have a lot of like a bodybuilding background.
Okay.
So I built a lot of muscle that way. I used to compete in like bikini competitions. And then lately, like the last year, I've done a lot of Pilates, which I've been doing mostly trick riding is like you go into one trick.
I thought that was like a noodle dish. What's a Pilates?
Pilates. So it's a lot of core workout. It's a lot of like body weight core workout. Or a noodle dish.
I've never heard of the noodle dish.
I've never.
Maybe I'm thinking of kolache. Or that's a pizza roll.
No, kolache is like the Dylan.
It's a pizza.
So no, a kolache.
I don't know what that is.
If you are from Texas, a kolache is like a sausage wrapped in like.
Oh, that's what it is.
But
What am I thinking of?
if you're up here, they think a kolache is like a sausage patty wrapped in dough, and that is
what
not
was I?
real.
What's the pizza deal? That's it.
Calzone. all the seafoods.
That's
Are you hungry?
I like Pilates.
I wasn't. Now I am.
That's my bad. I need to study my foods, apparently.
On the next episode of Everything Rodeo, we are going to discuss foods. And
have-
you are the only one that's not homeschooled in this table.
Come up with 2 words and be like, is this a workout or is this food nice?
I swear you could walk up to somebody at Jane Walmart down here and be like, is Pilates a workout or noodle dish? And they'll be like, oh man, that's a good noodle dish. I had that.
So,
We need to go do it.
oh my gosh.
Oh my gosh. I didn't mean to interrupt, but seriously, I did. I was like, I don't know what Pilates is. So
I've never had anyone ask me that. Isn't that a food?
I was thinking maybe yoga or something, but I was like, maybe that's a food.
It's
So
kind of like yoga.
I like yoga.
yogurt.
It tastes good.
I love yogurt.
I actually had some on the way here because I hadn't ate lunch.
Oh my goodness, that is funny.
She does, and like that, like the yoga, she'll do that for like
to stay
45
flexible.
minutes, and then that. So when she gets on the horse, it's pretty.
So how often do you work out with her?
Never. Maybe once since
I've
Earlier.
actually been trying to work out a little.
Yeah.
Like I was like, I went up in my white jeans.
Mm-hmm.
Like I went up about
Sizes?
2 sizes since 2020. I started eating that, and like
he
she's
was
like,
I
"All right."
want you to help me lose weight, and I'm like, okay, but like I said, I was a bodybuilder, so like I do this seriously, and then he's like, I'm so hungry.
I'm so sore.
It's like a little
okay.
amount of food and water. This is delicious, by the way. I haven't had chocolate in months.
Only 90 calories.
Yeah.
Too. Believe it or not,
It's got water in it too.
Oh, it's healthy then. It's got water.
has to be healthy.
No, but I mean, yeah, white pants, they do have a weight limit.
Yeah.
That's hard. I had to get a bigger rope to jump through. We're like, all right, yeah, we're gonna get a little better, but yeah, and just trying to eat better and take care of myself. The clown and the act, that got hard like last year in the heat.
Yeah.
Because he does such fast costume changes. That's the thing is he'll go out. I've seen him where he'll go out and crack the whips in the opening in the white pants. He's got to run back, change into the clowning stuff, be there by the bareback riding, and then before our act, he has to run out, take the makeup off, put the white pants on. He's got to go steady stage, go in the arena. I've got his horse ready. He comes out, hands me the reins. I take everything off the stage. I take care of that. He's got to put the makeup on, put the clown stuff back on, and he tries to miss as few guys as possible. So it's like, it's intense.
Is it pretty stressful though? Like during the rodeo?
Yeah.
I mean, one deal is we get to do it about every weekend, and
we get good about it.
Yeah.
Where it's just normal.
Yeah.
And that's where like we help each other a lot. Where we have it kind of clocked where we're like, if I gotta do fire whips in the opening, I'm there, and then I have her pyro flag ready, and then it's like she goes, and then she comes
Working
out.
together.
I grab that. I'm changing. She's getting horses ready. Yep. And then I'm out there doing the clowning. As soon as I come back, she's got the whole stage ready.
Yeah.
All I do is change, go back out there, do the act, come out. She takes everything. It's kind of a routine, but it does help a lot when there's two of us. When there's, we spend all day every rodeo like setting up, like everything has to be laid out perfectly.
It's perfect. The trailer looks like it's a mess, but to us it's not, because every costume, every
where you
pair
need
of
it.
shoes, every piece of makeup is laid out just perfectly.
Yeah. Well, that's how it is kind of when we film. I mean, I always probably seem like I'm stressed because I'm like running everywhere trying to get the shot. I'm like, all right, bareback's coming. I want to be like down low under the panels, or if I'm in the arena during the bull riding, like I want to be on either side so all the shots don't look different. But I mean, one time we did a bulls, bands, and barrels, and I flew the drone during the intro, and then as soon as the intro's done, they're rolling, like they're already bucking bulls. So like I had to land that thing, and Cody, I was like, we were switching cameras back and forth, and we had someone mic'd up. So I like handed headphones, so like it does help a lot when you're working together or you have a second person. But yeah, I think you guys bring more value to, your act with both of you, because I mean, you do the whip cracking and stuff, but then you figured out like, okay, you'll go do your trick riding, and then he'll come out and stick a flower in your mouth and pop, or the toilet paper or whatever, So I think it's pretty cool, and just to see your act too and get to know you guys better. It's kind of cool to, because like, all the kids, they watch the trick riders, and the little girls are like, I want to be a trick rider, Same with like, I'm sure, as a kid.
Not many want to wear white pants when they grow up.
Yeah, but they
Very
love,
slim
man,
group.
I mean, the kids love the clowns, and they love the trick roping and stuff. And it's, you guys you're kind of like, in a sense, you like are the image of rodeo to kids, So I don't know, it's pretty cool.
Yeah, that always seems important to us. Is we always say that, like, if rodeo hires us, and this rodeo committee can work so hard all year to put this on, and then they hire us, and we're the ones that do the news interviews, we're the ones signing the autographs, like we're kind of the face to their audience.
Exactly.
So that's something we try to always take seriously, and always, you can come out and have a bad show, but you got to come out and not show that. Like, we always have a rule, like, if you're mad, you tie the horse up and go in the trailer, then be mad,
right?
Because you have to be the face for the rodeo and for these little kids. I always have little kids, watching me or whatever, and they're looking up to you. So we try to always have a smile and always take time for kids. I remember being little, and when I first started trick riding, and I'd see some of my idols and go try to meet them, and it would be, I'd kind of get the cold shoulder, especially once they found out I was a trick rider. And, man, that sucks. Yeah. And it was like, man, I'm little, not all of them. I met some really great women too.
Right.
But, I remember meeting like Roz B, and like I thought she was the coolest, and she was so nice to me. Like, she was like one of the first people I'd idolized who like took the time. And I'm sure I was an annoying kid, I get those little kids after a performance and they want to talk, and you're like, oh, I'm tired, I want to go up. But she hung out with me, and like I still remember that, and that's really cool,
Yeah.
And like that being said, like, Roz helped her out. Tomas, Grazielazo, Vince Bruce. I literally would not be here today if it wasn't for them. They helped us a lot.
That's the way it should be, though. All the rodeo guys are always helping each other. You see, like, other bull riders pulling bull ropes, and like, I love that about it. Any other sport, you don't see that. But I love what you said about like the committees, because we've been able to like work and go to these whatever you call it before the rodeo. What do you call those?
Production meetings.
The main thing they focus on is like the acts, like that's really why those production meetings are set. Like they have the pyro guys, they have the act, and then but they slide right on through the events and stuff. But for a rodeo to hire somebody like you guys to come, you really are like, when they advertise, it's you that's coming to the rodeo. You know what I mean? I mean, obviously there is like the bucking horses and the bull riding and stuff, but I mean, people want to come watch what you have to offer. You know, it's like this year at Rodeo Ozarks, Tomas is coming, and you know, a large population of Springdale is Hispanic, and so I think it's like a great opportunity for them to say, hey, you know, we have Tomas is a huge trick roper from, you know,
world champion down there in Mexico. He's one of the all-time greatest. And that's where I think, I mean, a lot of times, and maybe we put too much pressure on it, but I do truly believe that they set it up. They're the ones doing all the work on making sure the sponsors are there so that we get paid. They're the ones that are making it where the grounds are clean and, you know, the panels are painted and the parking lot has, you know, easy to get in and out of. There's trash cans and there's things that you don't think about that make it a fun evening out. They're the ones that put they work year round on that to make it a success. And then, and they pay us a lot of money to come there and put on a 10-minute show or say a few jokes for 2 hours. It's very important to hit the nail on the head because they're putting a lot of trust in you. And I think that's something where, no matter if it's not good, the truck always gets cleaned. Our costumes always try to get good, and like just try to be the best representation that we can. And I think that's where a lot of like Tomas, man, I've seen him out there before he's doing his deal. He's cleaning his shoes, he's painting his rope, and they take a lot of pride in what he does. And I think that's where, and you know, Bobby Kerr, man, it's like he hand paints his vehicle. He's put so much detail and thought into each one of his animals. He'll be out there 4 hours before the rodeo working his horses and dogs. And I mean, man, you don't see those guys mess up very much. You don't see her mess up.
Well, and that's something that I always think I feel a lot of pressure for is, you know, you might have JB Mooney come to your rodeo and man, that's awesome, but you don't know what bully's drawn. You know, he might get bucked off. I feel like with us, they think, oh, we're hiring them to come and they
almost
expect
a guarantee.
the same thing every time. And it's not, you know, we might have a mistake, but we try as hard as we can to make it that way. You know, I know a lot of times we always have a rule like go 80%, like 80% of your hardest because do something you know you can hit. You know, I might do something in the practice and I think is really cool, but I don't know I can hit. Well, I'm not taking that to the show. You know, like we just tried some new horses out last weekend. Well, they're not going to go to maybe the bigger shows because if they can't hit it every time, you know, you're going to wait till they can hit it every time because they're hiring us for a guarantee, you know. Or shoot, even, you know, you get some of the big guys. I don't know how many times somebody, you know, will have them drawn up on the day sheet and then they turn out. You can't advertise that, you know, somebody big's going to be there because they may not like the horse they got if they may draw out. But we're definitely going to be there.
Yeah, that's true. Very true. It's just interesting how the whole dynamic of everything works. And then, you know, you go to a rodeo and it's just like, even if something gets messed up and they just roll on through, it just makes it everything seem as a bystander or like as a, you know, someone there just watching the rodeo, it's pretty smooth. So
So you're talking about the sponsors for the rodeo. What sponsors do you guys that help you go down the road?
Fastback Ropes. They've helped me out. They've been one of my biggest sponsors for years. Love their ropes. American hats. They look good. You know, all that. I been wearing their hats for quite a few years now. Hispania Silk. They're shampoo, and it's all natural. It's some great natural products. We use them on ourselves, our dogs, our horses. Well, she uses it a lot. I mean,
He doesn't wash any of the horses, just so we all know.
She's really good. You should use this.
I probably should. Yeah, you'll have to let me know how this
Makes
works.
her so silky.
And then I'm drawing a blank right now.
Wrangler, Coors.
Coors, yeah, God love Coors. They sponsor all the PRC Barrelmen, but man, they do treat us really, really good.
The water trailer sales, they helped us get into our new trailer, upgrade a little bit so we can haul more horses and have a better living situation. So.
There you go.
And they do ship like nationwide. They do.
They got nice trailers,
huge,
really good people.
Yeah, they're super easy to work with. They're super nice. Actually, we're bringing in the shop on Monday to get some.
Yeah, anytime we have a problem, it's fixed right away.
Called them on the drive today here. And they were like, all right, bring it in Monday, and we're going to get some new shelves put in, and they're pretty good to us. So
That's great.
And everything rodeo, too.
And everything
rodeo.
Yeah, you definitely got to have somebody that's going to get your trailer fixed fast because, I mean, when you're booked all summer, you don't have time to stop and leave your truck or trailer for, you know, a month or so to get fixed, or your truck, you know.
Yeah.
Well, shoot, last year we did Eagle, Colorado, which is a 4-day rodeo. I ended on Saturday or Sunday. It was something like that. And then on Monday, we were in Nebraska for a 1-day deal, Monday night. And then we went to somewhere in Iowa. It was a 3-day rodeo, and in that few days, they had the delivered
the new trailer.
Yeah.
We switched all of our everything from the old trailer to the new, and they took that one home.
Wow.
We had the new
sold
trailer.
it.
That's important.
Really good.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah. It's important to have a nice trailer, especially if you're on the road every single weekend.
It's our house.
Yeah.
You know, and then like he used to haul one horse, and then we've had the same trailer, and then we started hauling 3 horses. I could use a 4th, but whatever. So yeah, now we can haul more horses. We got a hay rack. They've got a big back tack. So we used to have one saddle. Now we've got all these saddles and Roman riding pads and.
Got to get ready and all that stuff.
Yeah, and now we've got it's nice. Now I got a big kitchen, and it just feels roomier in there, and so it's nice to have.
Nice. And so how often are you back home?
This year we actually got a little snake bit. We've been home for about a month.
Okay.
A month off,
Wow.
which is nice for wedding planning. We actually got to see the venue. We booked the venue, and then we got to actually see it after that. So.
Oh, nice.
Plus, me and my brother, we entered some rodeos. We won a little money, and we've been
training new horses.
Fun.
Nice.
Yeah, I seen last year you went to Shawnee and bought 2 new horses.
We did.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well,
He
end of January.
Yeah.
was wanting a new trick roping horse. He doesn't. The one he has is kind of a dork. He does his job, but we don't really like him.
Yeah.
And then I needed a new trick horse. My mare's getting a little old, so she's gonna go for a few more years, and then we need to be able to step
Have
her out
something to
and
switch off. And
and the trick horses take a while, so
Yeah.
got a new one I'm excited about.
Nice. Sounds like you got some good stuff going. Exciting year.
Yeah.
New last name. Couple new rodeos.
Yeah.
First time at the Open. That's going to be exciting.
Yes, I'm super excited.
Yeah. Yep. And we always end up running to you down there in Vegas too. So
Yeah.
if we don't see you till then, that's probably when we'll see you next time.
Yeah.
I think it's always fun.
Yeah.
I love it. That especially those few days prior where we get a book all our year and stuff. That's it's a busy time of the year.
Yeah. Well, we appreciate you guys coming out of your way to come to the crawl space. And
Sorry you had to wait on me.
yeah,
It's okay.
Cody is a little late, but it's still good. So, but the way that we end all of our podcasts is we ask our guests what the first song that comes to their mind is, and then we all sing it together.
Oh no.
Oh God, no, John said.
So, what's the first song that comes to your mind?
What's the song that you guys both sing at the top of your lungs going to a rodeo?
Yeah, that we would know that we can sing with you.
All I can think of is like every sing along ever is like Baby Shark.
Let's do it.
Baby shark, do 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 do.
Yes. That's so fitting.
Dude, we're doing it.
Shark.
We're doing Baby
Here we go.
Shark.
Shark.
Here we go.
Every time I rodeo, you got to do this sing along.
Yes.
Song.
You're gonna have this stuck in your head the rest of the night.
That's why you asked it. That's like the only song going through my head. I'm like, no, not that.
We're gonna get a text from Bethany earlier, and he's like, he can't stop singing it.
All the way home.
That's all
Here we go.
I can think of.
Baby shark, do 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 do. Baby shark, do 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 do. Baby shark, do 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 do. Shark. Mommy shark.
No, that's Grandma Shark.
Mommy shark. Do 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 do.
Mommy shark, do 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 do. Mommy shark.
Grandpa shark.
Do 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 do. Grandpa Shark, do 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 do.
Grandpa shark.
Do 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 do. Okay, let's play something else.
Oh my gosh. I can't believe you let him pick.
You're the one who said baby shark.
That's the only one that was popping in my head. Like, don't say Baby Shark. And, like,
And then you said it.
I
Then you
can't
said
think
it.
of any other song right now.
That's why I won't let him pick stuff for the wedding.
Hey, I like that. I think we should end on that one.
That's why he's not allowed to
Weird.
pick stuff for the wedding.
I can't sing, so that's a good thing to end on right there.
Well, we appreciate y'all checking in, sticking around.
And listening to another episode of the Everything Rodeo podcast. Want to thank Ryder and Bethany for coming down in the crawl space.
I need that yellow button one for, every time I do a show, I'm like, ta-da, and when the crowd doesn't, Bethany, she gets out as it is. I need that.
Do you hear
Yeah.
any of this? We got to clap when he does this.
Hey,
Bored.
One, two.
oh, I have one. Let's do it.
Oh my gosh.
Let's do it. Oh wait. Yep. Welcome back to the Everything Rodeo podcast.
Scene 3. We just made Ryder's year.
All he ever wanted to do.
So, Bethany, how is wedding planning going?
Good. Easy.
You about got her all lined out.
I got
Seriously though, if we don't get invited, it'll be fine. But I don't want you to feel like you have to invite us. But if you don't, we're gonna be ticked.
Yes.
We'll be the wedding crashers.
Yes.
Hey, do you have a DJ yet?
Or a videographer?
Not a videographer.
Do video?
Be there to do video.
But I do want to be there to party too. So